Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss Antesha for Raising a Woman podcast. What do y'all think about that intro? I did a little intro for us. I said we gotta have a little video intro going on. Like, who don't have video intros? Like that's like a given to me. So I took a little time out. Now you know she ain't no video professional like that, but I do what I can do when I can do it. Listen, I hope you are having an amazing day. I hope last week was wonderful for you. I am struggling. Let me tell you something. This episode, if we really gonna call it that, honestly, almost didn't happen. Oh my goodness. I've been in my head a lot lately. I don't know if that ever happens to y'all. I definitely be thinking a lot, and I think I've overthought some things. I'm in a particular space right now of where on one hand I'm so excited and I love this path that I'm on. On the other hand, however, there's still no movement, no big traction, happening. Although little things are happening, my views are definitely going up. Every week I get another follow, another subscriber or two. So there are things to definitely be excited about. But I'm exhausted. I am exhausted because I have been going so hard the last few weeks, honestly, before even the first episode launch. And I think it's kind of all like hitting me. And then the seasons changing. And that always throws me off. So my voice is going in and out. And I was just like, oh my God, how am I going to do this week's episode? And then I remembered, I'm doing the podcast for a reason. The podcast is literally from pain to purpose. So there's no better place for me to be than right here on the podcast with you, letting you know what I'm going through and how I really feel. I think I don't know if I want to say imposter syndrome, if that's been happening. That might be a little bit of it. I hear good things from people. People have let me know that you are enjoying the podcast and all of those things. I guess it's just, I don't know, in the back of my mind, it's like, am I really doing a good job? Am I really? Because I want to so badly. And maybe that's a part of the problem, right? Because we'll put all kinds of pressure on ourselves instead of just be yourself. Just be authentically you, right? That's not perfect. That doesn't mean flawless. And you'll be embraced and you'll be loved naturally. That's the hope, at least. I know and I believe that things are definitely going to pick up for the podcast. Again, this is only episode number 3. So I'm not trying to cry no river for nobody, but I'm just saying, I'm in that space and I'm trying to really work hard at honoring the spaces that I am in, because I'm someone, I'll brush it off. I'll brush off like everything. Like, oh, that's, somebody has it worse. Somebody's going through this. Somebody's going through that. And I'll minimalize everything that I'm going through, that I've been through. And that's not a healthy place. To be in, it's not a healthy thing to do to yourself. There's always going to be someone who has a story that's more challenging than yours, but it doesn't mean that your story is insignificant, right? It doesn't mean that your story doesn't have meaning, that it didn't really affect you, and that you didn't go through things and experience things, right? We compare so much amongst one another, whether it's good things, whether it's money or a job, where you live at. But we also do that, unfortunately, on the other end of that too, with trauma and just all the different challenges that we go through. And it really diminishes, I feel, our light, right? Because if we're brushing it off and we're making it seem like it's not a big deal, then how are we going to get to the place that we need to get to, right? We don't need to feel small. We don't need to feel like we are less than or we're lower than the next person. No, you need all of that energy. You need all of that courage. You need all of that strength to help take you to the next level and to help get you to your purpose. And so I can listen, I can talk it better than I can absorb it myself, right? Like giving advice and telling people some things and helping them, it's easier oftentimes, at least for me, than for me to do that for myself. And I don't know why. I don't know why, but I am working on that heavily. So that is something that's definitely going on the top of the list, to stop minimalizing the things that I'm going through. Even if it feels like it's minor, if it's throwing me off, it's not. Anything that's throwing you off your game is not minor. It's not. It is something that deserves to be looked at on a deeper level, to be discussed amongst friends, family, therapists, all of those things. So we got to stop just sweeping things under the rug, putting them on the back burner, all of that. But no, I am excited. Man, I'm so exhausted. I know I haven't slept in over 24 hours. It's been wild. No, this episode, this was like a complete crash out type of, in a way, not legit crash out, but I want to make sure that I'm intentional with what I do. I want to make sure that it is authentic and that it feels authentic, right? I have so many dreams and plans in my head and desires, for what I want to do, in various different fields, not just in regards to with raising a woman, but with raising a woman, yes, there are things that I definitely want to achieve and levels that I want to get at. But I'm in this moment, right? I'm in this process. I was just yesterday, I was watching Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts preach a sermon. It was called, I think, Get Out of Your Own Way. And something told me to make sure, that I woke up and logged online to catch the sermon. I've been missing them lately because I be staying up late all throughout the night on Saturdays with homework, podcast stuff. But last week, I actually got done with every assignment. So this is a win. This is a win for sure. I got done with every assignment Friday night. All 3 classes. All 3. No homework. Nothing. Not a discussion board or nothing that I have to do this weekend. So I told myself, I'm definitely getting up Sunday morning because I feel like it's something there for me. Like I got to catch this word, whatever it is. And sure enough, it was. Pastor Sarah preached it down like she always be doing. And she talked about how we're trying to get to the promise. There's a promise for us and we're trying to get to the promise, right? But we got to go through the process. We got to go through the process. We always want something until we find out the process. Then it doesn't look as desirable. And I was like, oh, this is right on time. This is right on time, right on time, because I am stuck. I am in my process right now, right? I know there's a promise for me. I know it's there. I know it's waiting on me. It's mine. It has my name on it. But here I am. I'm in the middle, right? I'm in the part that's not easy to navigate. I'm in the part that's frustrating, right? It's like, how long are we gonna be here? how long how long am I gonna be in the process? I feel like my whole life been a process, right? And it's a part of it. But Pastor Sarah said that it's about what the process does for you, how it shapes you. It's shaping you. It's shaping you and preparing you for the promise, right? So you have to go through this journey. And this journey is only yours. It's nobody else's. It's nobody else's. Nobody else can walk it. They have their own. So this is a part of everybody's journey in this life. We all have a process we have to go through. And I am in my process heavily. I mean, heavy, heavy, heavy. Waiting and keep pushing forward to get closer and closer to that promise. But yeah, I needed to hear that word because it was refreshing. It gave me new energy. It gave me a little boost. And I felt charged up again, but then here we go. There we go with the backsliding. As soon as I thought I had it, and I said, yep, we about to do the episode. I'm geared up. I'm ready. Everything. Then here comes all the doubts, all the second guessing. Oh no, maybe that's not good. No, maybe this isn't. All of the things. Girl, just relax. Just literally relax. Relax. Because you're putting too much on yourself. You're putting too much on yourself. Every episode is not going to be a blockbuster. Every episode is not. Sometimes it's just going to be simple conversation. Other times it's going to be a mixture of deep conversation and humor. That's my kind of like balance right there. I love to talk about real things, but to also have them fun moments and to be able to, lighten up, the mood. But that's not always going to happen. Sometimes I'm going to come on here and it's not going to be any humor. Other times it may be an abundance of humor. The point is that you have to get up and keep going. You have to get up and keep going. This episode is challenging for me, but I know they won't all be challenging for me. Once my body heals up a little bit, I start feeling a little better. Maybe that'll help give me, will spark more ideas. Right now, your girl's running on fumes. My voice to me is sounding low. I don't know how it sounds to y'all, but it sounded a little raggedy. It's definitely given she hasn't slept in a little bit of time. So I just wanted to come on here because I want to make it a point, a mission at as much as I can, unless something really does happen and I really am just like completely sick. I want to come on here every week, no matter what, win, lose or draw, rain or shine, good weeks, bad weeks, and just talk to you, and just connect with you. That's the whole point of raising a woman is to keep the connections going, to keep the vibes flowing, and to be there for one another. I want to uplift you, but honestly, you uplift me too. And so I can use some uplifting. definitely this week. Uh to get my head back in the game, to to get me out of my intrusive thoughts and back into my purpose, right? Let's get out of them intrusive thoughts, whatever them thoughts may be, whatever them self-doubts may be, imposter syndrome, the whole nine. We have to get out of that and step back into what we know. We know what we're supposed to be doing, or the direction we're supposed to be heading in. And as long as we stay focused on that and we just keep going and block out all the other noise as much as possible, right? I'm not going to pretend like I'm just able to just shut it all down. No. But as much as possible, and to definitely give grace. Um I have some things in mind, for me. I think that journaling is something that I definitely need to get into. Um, I definitely got to get back into catching catching church on Sunday. Like I got to get back into getting that word and the messages. And a very important thing that I also need to do is ask for help. That's a biggie. That's a biggie. I have a friend from we go back junior high, and she reached out to me last week about the show, and she loves it and was super excited about it. And I low key, I've been waiting for her to say something about it, right? I was hoping she liked it. I've always valued her opinion. She's so solid and has definitely been there for me, in the past. And she said, she was messaging me and she was like, listen, you have help. I'm here. You don't have to be superwoman. Don't do it. You don't got to do it all by yourself. And I said, thank you. That, means a lot to me. And you know how you hear something, you hear it and you're receiving it, but you're not fully absorbing it. Right. I struggle with asking for help, and it's not really a pride thing. It's really more or less that some people will help you, but will throw it back in your face, right? That's always been a thing that I cannot subscribe to. I feel that if you're going to help someone, genuinely help them, if you're able to. And if you give that help, you don't bring it back up. I'll go out of my way. I'll do the most biggest detour ever just to not ask for help, because I don't want it thrown back in my face later. But with my friend I'm talking about, that's definitely not her. That I already know that's not her. She literally, I can give examples from junior high school when she was holding me down. And so it's one of those relationships where we don't often communicate. Um, we haven't seen each other in some years since I moved back home, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much time passes by. She is the exact same person, which is amazing, and I love that. And the energy is I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a vibe, right? So I'm definitely gonna have to take her up on on that offer, because oh my gosh, this is a lot. This is a lot. This is a lot. Um, it's worth it though. It's what I don't listen, I don't regret it. Let's be very clear. I do not regret this. Um, I'm still super excited about this. I think I'm just going through a little bit of a funky time right now. Um, the weather, eh, oh my gosh. Winter, I'm never prepared for winter. Mind you, I'm in Minnesota. And people always somehow think, "Oh, you're used to that." No, I'm not. Don't confuse me living here with being used to winter. Child, I have never been used to this winter and this snow. Absolutely not. I would prefer to not have it. But no, it's a great place to live though. Um I'm definitely, I'm glad I came back. When I left here originally, I was running away from things. I was running away from all the things that hurt me, all the things that held me down. And I had vowed that I'm never coming back. I'm never living here again. And then unfortunately my whole life fell apart down in Atlanta. Yeah, child, I was down there in Atlanta, Georgia. Uh couldn't have told me nothing. I just knew I was finna go down there and be in Black Hollywood. I just knew it. I knew it. I knew it and was wrong. And everything just came crashing down eventually. And I had to come back. I had to come back, move back home. That wasn't easy. That wasn't easy. Move back in, with the parents. And it took a minute. It took a minute. I have to deep dive into that on some other episodes. But I have worked hard to build myself back up. And I have gotten to higher levels than I had ever gotten to before. And I'm proud of that. But I still have yet to reach a level in which I truly am comfortable with myself, with the way my life is, especially with finances. Money doesn't fix everything, but listen, we already know, like, most of the drama, most of the issues be about money. I mean, yeah, it can't fix everything, but it can show enough fix a lot under the right conditions. So I am trying to maintain, but still recognize that I've come a long ways. I still have a lot more ways to go, but I've come a long ways. And so if you can relate to this, in any type of way, just understand that you're in the process. The process is not meant to be easy. It's meant to be transformative. It's meant to be a learning experience. It's a teachable moment. You always hear the people who eventually make it, and they always reminisce about how they struggled and for years and how they went through this and that, and nothing was an overnight success for them. And so you just have to keep that in mind with yourself. It's all about grace. I'll say that a lot. Like, we got to have grace for ourselves as well as one another, right? Because you never know when you're going to need that grace. And so always try to extend it with others. This week, I hope, I pray, gives me more clarity. I hope that it puts me right back on track fully, because I'm like on one track. Like, half the wheels are on track, the other half is in the gravel. So I'm hoping this week, by the end of this week, I'm fully back on track. So then when we come back next week, right, next Monday, I'm hitting y'all with the real episodes. But today I just wanted to come on and touch bases with y'all. I want to for sure thank you. Every listen, every view, every like, every subscription, follow, all of that. All of that is needed. If I resonate with you in any type of way, if you're just listening to this for the first time, please subscribe, like, make sure you keep in touch so you don't miss anything, right? So we can stay in this thing, in this fight together, right? This is the from pain to purpose fight. We're gonna get to that purpose. We're gonna get through that purpose, but we unfortunately we're gonna get some scrapes and some bruises along the way if we haven't already. I know I have. I know I have, and I'm sure there's a little more to come. But all glory and stuff and praise to God. I know that He has that promise waiting for me. And I know that I'm going to reach it. And when I do, it's on. It's on in the most beautiful way. And I don't mean it's on in like showboating and all of that stuff. I mean, it's on in the ways in which I want to help other people, elevate other people, um, relieve some of this burden, financial burden on people. Like I'm serious. My purpose is to help other people. That's genuinely what I feel. I'm trying to get to these next levels so I can create generational wealth within my family. I'm trying to completely, uproot and replant our tree into greener pastures, right? So it's not just about me. This journey, this experience, and succeeding and making it to those levels are definitely not just about me. It's about my loved ones as well. It's about my community, all of those things. And I feel deeply within my heart that I will reach the level in which I'll be able to help and bless so many other people. And that's what it's about for me. So I thank you. I thank you for being a part of this journey. Again, make sure you subscribe, you like. Please visit the website raisingawoman.com. I have merch there, for you to buy. It'll definitely help me out, that is for sure. It'll help me out. And listen, I got to go to bed, child. Listen. I feel like I'm up here. I'm definitely giving droopy eye. I'm definitely giving it's night time. Tuck her in. But I wanted to show my face to y'all this week. I said, the voice ain't voicing this week. But girl, let's get on there. Let's show our face. And because I was hyped about the little intro too, I said, I can't wait another week for it because I'm about to drop it on the social media. You finna see it on the post. I'm putting it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of those things. So listen, let this week be a week of clarity. Whatever you're wrestling with, whatever, you out here, you just tussling. Even if it's with yourself, you might not actually be tussling with somebody else. You tussling with yourself. Okay. You wrestling. Let this week be a week of clarity for you. Do what you need to do to decompress. Listen, you need self-care, take self-care. You need that time out, time away, take it if you can. You journal. If hit the gym, I'm finna get back into the gym. I would love for y'all to join me in that. Maybe we'll dive into that a little bit more next week. But do what you have to do to clear your mind from all of this mess. It is so much going on in this world. It is wild. It's insane on so many levels. And it's so easy to get caught up in it. It's so easy to feel like, what's the point? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? All of those things are so easy to creep into your mindset, but just know you're just in the process. You're in the process and the promise is waiting for you, but you got to get through the process. And the process isn't going to always be pretty. And it's definitely not going to always be helpful. But the transformation and the growth that you will have after that will make it all come together and make sense. So I hope y'all's week is amazing. I hope that don't nobody tick you off at that job. Been there, done that. Okay, could have wore the t-shirt. All of those things. Protect your peace. Love on yourself, girl. Love on yourself. That's a must. That's a must. We gotta love on ourselves. I gotta get better at that myself. Right. And just know that you're moving forward and you're getting closer. One step at a time, one victory at a time, even if it's small. And you're going to get to that purpose. All right. Y'all have a blessed week. I will holler at y'all next week's episode. Well, even throughout the week on social media. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Raising a Woman Podcast. I definitely need the follows and the likes on those platforms. So let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to this purpose. Let's get to what we're meant to get to, and not let all these obstacles get in our way. All right. I am your host, Miss Antesha, and you have been listening to Raising a Woman Podcast. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.